Welcome to the StrongFirst podcast. This is the official podcast of StrongFirst, the School of Strength. For more information, please visit strongfirst.com. I'm Craig Marker. Welcome to the show. In this episode, we're very lucky to have our guest, Rachel Cosgrove. Rachel co-owns Results Fitness, is the author of The Female Body Breakthrough and Drop Two Sizes, as well as many other books. She's a women's health columnist, and she's been in many other publications. You probably will see her in many places. We'll talk about that. So welcome to the show, Rachel.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been excited to get you on this for a while. We've got a lot of our listeners that are excited about the things that you do. So if we can get started, just talking a little bit about your background, how you got started in the fitness industry and what led to your success.
Sure. I mean, if you want me to go way back, first started working out in the gym when I was, with my dad. And then, as I was trying to figure out what works to look and feel my best. So it really started as a personal journey. I've always had a fascination with the human body and just what it's capable of. And, so I decided to go to school and get my degree in physiology. And I attended University of California at Santa Barbara and earned my degree in physiology with an emphasis in exercise and health. And then from there, started working as a personal trainer. And so that was really, I graduated in 1997. So I've been doing this for a while. I was in college. I was, teaching aerobics and spinning and all of those fun things. And then as I graduated, I moved to New York City. And that's where I met Alan Cosgrove. And he and I started to work together to create what is now Results Fitness. We, after being in New York City for 2 years and training clients and starting to really, develop my skills as a trainer and learning from different people. We would host different, continuing education, opportunities. And so really, that was a big growth period for me. And having Alan as a mentor and, really learning the ropes. And after a couple of years in New York, we decided to move back to California, where I'm from, and open up Results Fitness. So we are coming up on 19 years in business. So we've it's been, it's crazy. It's been 19 years. Time flies when you're having fun. But so over that 19 years, we've built our gym. It was just the two of us when we first opened. And, we were two trainers who, had a passion for helping people and decided to open a gym and quickly realized we knew nothing about running a business. And so started to learn how to run a business and put systems into place and build our team. And so all of those things that, over the years now, our company our gym runs without us. We don't have to be there in the day to day, so that I can be doing things like this to share, with other trainers how they can set their gym up to run successfully and create the lifestyle they want to live.
That's awesome. I want to get into that. I think many gym owners would love to be away from the gym. I think they're probably there almost all the time. So we'll get into that part in a little bit, but I just want to go, a little bit back into what you were talking about with your training and how you, got into this. That's, quite a background. Do you think, so with your college degree and all of that training, do you think that's necessary for everybody who wants to become a trainer? Maybe that's a loaded question. Maybe it's not the greatest question, but for people who are interested in becoming trainers.
No, definitely. You don't have to. I mean, we have trainers that are part of our team who do not have a degree in the field. That's not something that's absolutely necessary. Of course not. Really my education, of course I thought, I have my degree now. I know it all. And, you don't know it all. That's just like the skim, you've just skimmed the top. And so really after I graduated from college was really when I started to dive deep into strength and conditioning and just, the stuff that's, beyond, the science of it that you learn in school and more the practical of, okay, how does this actually work when you have a client standing in front of you and you have to get this person into great shape? And so that's not, and, now there are a lot of schools that do have exercise science degrees, exercise physiology degrees. I think there's even, degrees that, you can get more specific than you could then. So it's definitely something to look into if it is your passion. It is. The cool thing now is that this is a career. When I graduated from college, I was graduating with, everybody was pre-med. It was like, that's what you did. It was really a physiology degree. It was a pre-med degree and everybody was going to med school or physical therapy school or, becoming a personal trainer was not like your career path. And so, now this is a career path, and that's something that, Alan and I are proud of is, there wasn't someone ahead of us who had made a career out of it, who we could follow that path. So it was really strength and conditioning coaches or, but you didn't see a personal trainer was kind of a part-time thing. It was like, be a personal trainer until, you figure out what you're really going to be when you grow up. And so it's something that we pride ourselves at Results Fitness. We really want to create a place where people, our trainers can have a career, they can support their families. We have benefits, they get retirement, they get health insurance, so that, there's a real deal. Like it's a real career as long as you take yourself seriously. So do you need to get a degree? Not necessarily, but I do think you need to take your continuing education, definitely seriously if you want to make a career out of this. So be ready to invest in yourself, be ready to, spend the time and, keep learning, because this field is changing and growing quickly. And so you do need to keep up.
That's great. That's awesome advice. I think that's, the knowledge you need, and then also the practical application. And you've learned for many years just how to work with different people, and you've worked with the whole gamut, it sounds like.
Yeah, we've, at Results Fitness, we definitely specialize in more women. So that's been my, what I've focused on is becoming the best at helping women to reach their potential. We do have athletes that come in. We do have, all different from, young kids to, we have one of our clients is like, approaching 80 years old, and, he's a stud. He's like doing Spartan races and doing, it's, awesome. But yeah, when we have the whole gamut of clients that come into Results Fitness.
And gosh, I'm trying to think of a way to ask this question without it sounding, I'm wondering, like training females, is that different, or has it changed over the years? I think maybe years ago it was harder for females to go into the gym, and maybe it's different now, or what are you seeing in trends?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like it used to be women were scared of muscle, and that was, I don't want to get too bulky and I don't want to lift weights. And, it's definitely, and then you still get that every once in a while where women, are afraid to gain muscle or get strong, but it's definitely started to shift where being strong is cool and, and being strong is sexy, and women are like, okay, you know what? I want to build muscle, and, I want to have a butt, and I want to, oh, okay. So they're definitely starting to grasp the idea of, that being strong, having muscle, being able to lift, weights that they didn't think they could lift, or do a chin up, or do a push up, or, do all these things that they never thought they could do, it's not only empowering physically, but it's empowering mentally. And so, I know for a lot of our clients, it's that shift from, realizing that, strength training is really a catalyst for them to reach their potential, not only fitness wise, but also, overall in their life. So it's definitely shifting. I wouldn't say we're totally there, but it's definitely shifting, to where we don't have as many conversations of, you won't get big and bulky, and, it's refreshing.
Yep. And I think what you said, even like the chin ups and pull ups, like I find that amazing when ladies, maybe it was a anomaly years ago, but now, we have all kinds of people, 10 pull ups or 10 chin ups, and it's
it's crazy. And I know even like powerlifting, so I had done my first powerlifting meet, like it's probably been like, I don't know, a while ago, a long time ago. And like deadlifting 300 pounds was like this, like, oh my gosh, that's so much weight for a woman to do. And it's still a lot of weight for a woman to do, of course. But, at our gym, so I like set it as a goal. Like I want to try to deadlift 300 pounds, like one day, and I was working towards it. And so now like we have a team of about 12 women who do powerlifting at our gym. And so they've started powerlifting and started getting into it. And like our clients are, like opening with 315. Awesome. I'm like, wow, these are like school teachers and, veterinarians, and, I'm like trying to keep up with them. So it's like that glass ceiling got broke, and then they're just like, oh yeah, 300, like, yeah, I can deadlift that, so it's pretty cool to see once, women realize, oh, I can do this. How it's going to be interesting to see the stronger and stronger they get. What are we capable of?
Yeah. And this is where I was kind of struggling with the question, was like, I find that I don't see myself training women different than men. And I mean, sometimes there's, concerns on their part, but for the most part, I'm training people very similar. I don't know if
programming wise, for sure. And it's more probably going to be the coaching cues you use. What I would say is you usually have to kind of hold men back and push women more, if that makes sense. Women don't realize how much they can do, where men are like, I'm good. I can totally do that. And like their form looks horrible. And you're like, okay, let's back off just a bit. I understand that you're strong and, you can do this. But so I think that's the difference, is really just coaching, the way you coach them. And, obviously like the way they're motivated and, just how you talk to them, I think is going to be different. But as far as the overall programming goes, it's not going to be that different, because, you're going to work the basic movements, and, it's, you're still going to be doing the best for each person, and whether they're a woman or a man.
Yeah. Yep. I noticed, I've started going through your articles, and you have, I don't even know how many, it's just uncountable almost, but you have articles everywhere. And I noticed you do a lot with strength and conditioning, but you also talk nutrition, and do you feel that you need to do the whole package, or is there one aspect you'd like to work on more?
Like with my clients, you mean? Or
Yeah.
I think, as a fitness professional, I don't think we can not be educated on nutrition. I think you have to include some, advice, coaching for your clients, because you can't, like, if we're just getting them stronger and in better shape, but we're not talking about the fuel that they're putting into their bodies, you're not going to help them to reach their potential. So I think, we definitely need to be educated on that and be ready to share, advice and give our clients that kind of coaching, so they can start to hold them accountable. And a lot of times that's all it is. Like, most people know what healthy food is. They just, need to be held accountable to eating it, and how much better they'll feel when they are, drinking their water and doing the things they need to do. So yeah, I think that's definitely part of the package. If you're going to be a fitness coach and you're going to be working with people, that you do need to talk about nutrition and recovery, for that matter. Like, are they sleeping? Are they, what's their stress levels like? I mean, these are all things that we need to think about. Now, there is a line, that we do need to know our professional boundaries, and we do need to know that, if, it starts getting into where, maybe somebody has a disease or has things that, getting a little more specific with nutrition. If that's out of your, realm, you need to refer that out to a nutritionist or to an RD. I mean, there's definitely, if someone's on medications, you got to be careful. You don't want to necessarily be, educating people on things that you're not qualified to do. So, so I think, yes, you need to know, the basics of coaching your clients on eating, healthier. And for me, that approach, a lot of times it's really just a matter of asking them, like, hey, what do you think is the one thing you need to work on? They usually know. They're like, oh, I need to stop drinking wine at night, or I need to, that ice cream I'm having for dessert, or I skip breakfast every morning, or, they'll tell you. And so, okay, well, let's, work on that. So it's, it's usually pretty simple when it comes to the nutrition side of it, but definitely it's a huge part of it. Yeah. I don't think you can not,
That makes perfect sense.
with your clients.
Yep. Oh, I like that. I like your answer. Yep, that's great. So yeah, shifting gears a little bit. I think some of the I've heard of your gym, and I'm excited to go visit it in January. So we'll be there in January.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I'm really excited about is, our accredited gyms are working with you at Results.University. We've got some of our, Jason and Lauren Pack are they own a StrongFirst Accredited Gym. They're amazing on social media. They took your Results.University courses, and their business seems like it's wonderful, and they're just doing wonderful things. So can you talk a little bit about what makes a successful gym owner, and what type of things you teach at Results.University?
Yeah, Jason and Lauren, we're very proud of them. They came to us before they even had their location or their gym. So it's always easiest if people join Results.University when they're just getting started. I know a lot of people think, oh, I'll wait and I'll get my gym open and then I'll come, but then we have to undo whatever they did. And so with Jason and Lauren, we had a blank slate, and it was just, we could start from the groundwork, and really help them to get everything in place from the beginning. And so everything from their grand opening to, really getting their culture in place, getting their core values in place. And for them, if you've met them or them or you've been to their gym, they have the culture down. I mean, they're, the culture at their facility is, they just have such a great atmosphere. And I think that's what separates, one of our gyms is, it's not just a gym, it's definitely, it stands for more than that. And so they've done a great job of that, of really creating a community of people. And so, but yeah, they've, as far as successful gym owners, they've been very coachable. I mean, it's just like a client, like for us now, we give them the steps, and they've done everything that we've laid out for them, and have, you know, built a successful business. And so, yeah, it's been really fun to be a part of their journey. Yeah, they do a great job. You know, they bring so much to their clients and to their community, and to Results Fitness University. They now teach for us. So they're part of our faculty for Results Fitness University. So they help us to bring other gyms, yeah, who are getting started. And so, yeah, so it's really cool to see.
Yeah. And I think, you know, one of the things that, you know, one of the reasons we started the accredited gym program, we had all of these people that would go through our StrongFirst instructor certification. They'd be super excited on Sunday, you know, ready to change the world. And then, you know, what do I do next? And how do I start a gym? And where do I go? And, you know, some would start, you know, working at another gym. And, you know, we have a lot of people who are new instructors that just don't know what to do. So that's why I'm really glad that you have this program that we can refer people to. So
yeah, and that's
really,
why
really
we
helpful.
created it. It's really what we wish we had when we first opened Results Fitness, you know, because we didn't know what we were doing. And so we get it, you know, it's like we all are passionate about what we do. And that's the hard thing, is I think most of us would do what we do for free, you know, and that's the problem, is then, you know, you end up getting burnt out because you're not making the money you need to make. You're working too many hours, and, you know, your company, you've built it completely dependent on you. So you have to be there. You can't even take a vacation. And so these are the things that we really want to help people to be able to share their passion, share what they do, change lives. Our mission is to change the way fitness is done. And so that way, when people come into any of the gyms that are affiliated with us, you know, we want them to experience something that's different than most gyms, and, you know, really help, and for us, help the trainers to create a sustainable business that's going to help to support their family and be there for the long term. Yeah, because it's
excellent.
unfortunate how many trainers, like you said, you know, they're passionate, they're excited, they open their gym and end up having to close their doors, you know, shortly after, you know, a year or two into it, because they don't have the business side of it figured out. So that's what we do, is help them figure that out.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. And so, I mean, you mentioned the culture and the environment, and you know, I know Jason and Lauren, and I can get what you're saying, but, you know, what do you mean by that exactly? Is that, you know, yell at people type of, just tongue in cheek, but, you know, what type
Yeah.
of culture are you in community do you think is important?
Yeah, I think it's, you know, really, so we always have our, like, starting with what your values are, like, you know, what are the values that you, you know, that are who you are. And so for us at Results Fitness, some of our values are bring your best, you know, so every single day our team brings their best, and, you know, when they walk through that door, they drop whatever's going on outside of that door and are ready to bring it 100%, you know. Continuing education, so constantly learning and improving is one of our core values. So our team, if you're on our team or you're part of our gym, you're going to be learning, you're going to be growing, you're going to be investing in yourself, you know, you're going to be getting better, because if you're not going to be able to keep up. And so that's who we are, and that's part of our culture. You know, have fun and a sense of humor. Like, we got to have a good time. You know, life's too short to not have a good time. And so, you know, that's definitely part of our culture. Be professional is another one of our values. And so we're big on being professional. And, you know, sometimes people might think even too strict on it, but, you know, like, we have a no tattoo policy. You can't show your tattoos. We have we take it to the nth degree, because we want people to see us as professionals. Like, I feel like that's still something we're fighting in our industry, is, you know, the TV trainer that people see, and you know, that they still think, oh, you're a personal trainer, and they don't take you seriously as a professional. And so, you know, we really, at Results Fitness, part of our culture when you walk in is, whoa, okay, these guys are professionals. This is, you know, like, this is the real deal. You know, we're not part-time, you know, doing this on the side. This is our career, and this is what we take seriously. And so, yeah, so really thinking through, like, what is important to you? You know, what are your core values? What is, and when you walk into your gym, what do you want people to feel? You know, do you want them to feel that, you know, that fun and sense of humor? Do you want them to feel, are you more of a hardcore chains and flames, and, you know, like, and that's like, some people, that's their, you know, they're like, yeah, you know, and maybe it is more of a screaming, you know, like, you know, yelling in their face type of an environment. That's not our environment, but that could be someone else's environment. And so people that are looking for that are going to, you know, be attracted to that type of gym. So, but you got to figure that out, because you can't be all things to all people. And so really thinking through, like, who are you building your gym for? You know, who is that client that you're trying to attract to come work out with you? And what would, when they walk through your doors, how can you, like for us, we really want to make it unintimidating, like we want to make it feel real, when they walk in, we have like a little buffer zone. You can't even see any of the free weights or anything, because that's intimidating for, a lot of the women that'll walk in. It's scary to walk through those doors of a gym the first time. And so, we're always looking for ways to make it feel really comfortable, unintimidating, make them feel like they're part of the community. And so, that's the kind of culture that we're looking for. And so it is, culture is definitely, it's kind of a soft topic, everyone's like, oh yeah, culture, whatever. But what list of gym equipment do I need? Or what, you think you need and we were the same way when we first opened. And then you realize something like culture is the game changer for a business, because if you get the culture right and you hire by your core values and you hire by, only bringing people on your team who really fit that culture, it just creates a magical environment, because then you start to attract the clients that you want to attract. And so pretty soon you have this gym full of people that are, all like-minded, who all, really have the same values, and just creates that environment that's, like there's nothing like it. And so that's a game changer for businesses. And most gym owners don't think it's important. They don't put it as a priority until later, when they start to go, oh, how come everyone I'm hiring is not working out? Or how come, like clients are leaving? Or how come, well, you don't have your culture right. So let's get the culture right. And it does start with your team. Like, that's the key. Your team, like you have to hire by those values and get your team right.
That's incredible. Yeah. And it makes me think of, places that I've been and just where you feel part of the community. And, I think that word community that you mentioned is, really vital. It's, it becomes a place where you want to go and maybe this is an outdated reference, but cheers, where everybody knows your name and you're welcome. And, and you'll help people from your community to move or do other things. You watch them grow and change, and that becomes not just a place you go to train for an hour and that's it. It becomes some place you really want to go. So I think that's exactly. It's really exciting. Yeah. And I there's some articles that I think one of them was called CrossFit is the new church or something. It was something similar, but it's not just CrossFit. It's that you build a community at your gym, and it's bigger than, it's some people have lost their community. So this is one place we can pick it up.
We've had people who, were contemplating moving and didn't move because they didn't want to leave their gym, and that's part of our frustration is we want there to be a gym like ours, wherever they go. That should be the norm. It shouldn't be the exception, So as we help more gym owners to create that, that's really our mission, is that, this is the new norm. This isn't, the typical low customer service, and the standards in the gym industry aren't very high, and so that's it's not that hard to surpass them. Which is too bad.
Yeah. Nope. That's great. Yeah, and I think just to kind of give Jason and Lauren more reinforcement, but I watched their videos, and I've never been to their facility yet, but I've seen them, I've talked to them at other places, but their videos just make me want to go to their facility. They express that warmness, and it's not they're giving tips and cues that are really helpful and not over coaching and making you feel bad for not doing things right. So I think that's
they're excellent coaches. And you can tell, one of their values is it's about the client, right? It's not about them. And I think, when you watch their videos, you can see it's not, they're not doing this to make themselves a star. They're doing this to share, and help other people.
Excellent. So also at Results Fitness University, do they get to learn the nuts and bolts? Just the basics, of finding a rental space and, getting insurance and all of the other issues involved. And it's amazing that at your gym, you've got retirement plans and all of these things for your employees and benefits. And, do you walk them through all of those steps?
Yes, we sure do. Yeah, it's literally from, finding that location, negotiating the rent, negotiating, months that you get rent free, the build out, all of that stuff, insurance, all the things, that you may not think about, right? And then, the not so fun stuff and getting that all figured out. And then, once getting the doors open, doing a promotion to get the grand opening, big grand opening, numbers, right? So that's something that we always tease, that trainers say, oh, I'm not a numbers person, but most trainers are numbers people. They know, they know weights. They know, like, if we put a 45-pound bar with two 45-pound plates on, any trainer can tell me what's on, how much weight's on that bar. And they probably know their clients, bench press or body fat, or, they know numbers. They just aren't looking at the right numbers. And so really showing them the right, here's the numbers we need to start to look at if we're going to run a business. We need to start to get comfortable with looking at a profit and loss, looking at what's my income, what are my expenses, what's the percentage of everything, making sure that you're paying yourself, taking a paycheck, because so many trainers open their gyms and don't end up, they end up just paying all the bills and trying to keep up and not making themselves a priority. And so that, turns into resentment and turns into, not a great business owner, and you end up closing your doors. And so things like that, just, making sure they have their priorities straight when it comes to their business. Marketing, we go through marketing plans. We give out marketing calendars at each of our masterminds, and really plan out the year so that you're ready ahead of time. You have a game plan in place, and it's not, you're not being reactive, you're being proactive. And that's really one of the things we help them to do. And then even building your team, all your staff training, all of those things, thinking about, that can be, managing people is a skill that people do have to learn how to do. And I think, that's something that people don't realize is, oh, I'll just get some trainers working for me, it'll be easy. And then you realize, okay, I have to learn how to manage people and really build a team and build, get everybody on the same goals. So so we go through, every topic there is when it comes to business, and we share all of that in our mentorship. We do a 2-day mentorship where people can come out, hang out at Results Fitness, and we share, the nuts and bolts of everything of running your business. And it's usually, we get told it's like trying to drink water through a fire hose, because we just give them everything. So, they grasp, as much as they need right then. And then that's why they join our ongoing coaching program, so that way we can continue to, implement the things they need to implement when they hit different milestones in their business.
That's excellent. I like that. That sounds like a great support system. It's not just.
And you know what? We have awesome people in it, like, Lauren and Jason. It's, that's the fun part. Like, we just had a mastermind last week, and for Alan and I, when they all come out for the mastermind, it fires us up, because it's just, it's really cool people. Again, we have a culture of people that are, they're all trainers who are looking to, it's definitely a specific type of trainer. It's a trainer that wants to be better, like constantly learning and improving, always, looking for, never just taking just because as an answer, like they'll question us, they'll test us, and we love it, because we're like, okay, yeah, like, let's figure out, is this the right answer? Or what is, so that's the kind of trainer we attract, and it really creates a great environment, because they're not afraid, and no egos. That's the main thing, is there's no egos. Everybody shares with each other. Everybody supports each other. If something great went, something went really well, sharing it and getting the support and the camaraderie from, the other people. It can be lonely running a business, so having a support network like that of other business owners that you can bounce ideas off of and share things with is just so powerful.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And no, I don't, I'm going to make up some numbers here because I don't know them off the top of my head, but like personal trainers, I think every 5 years, like 85% of, personal trainers have turned over. And, it sounds like a lot of the things that you're putting in place make people passionate about their job and, things that they love. And, they went into the business for a reason, is to help people, or whatever their reason is. And you're giving them the support system to do what they love, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like you said, people come into it, we call it like the honeymoon phase, you're excited and everything's like, they're passionate, and that's always exciting, that beginning stage. But like, everybody goes through what we call the grind, where you're going to have to work long hours, you're you're trying to figure out your business. And so our goal is to get them through that grind stage, when they've kind of lost their excitement. And now it's about, okay, I got to make this work, and how fast can we get them through the grind into where they have a sustainable business. And so it's really just, getting through that to where, their business is running. Without them, they start to build a team, they get systems in place, so that things aren't dependent on the owner.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I have so many questions for you. I'm trying not to have you give away all your secrets, but what? Like, I see different facilities. I travel all over, and I see them try different things, and for example, one facility just keeps changing what they do. And, like, it's just, if I only had the right techniques or something, that they would get, a full gym of people. Maybe it's not having the right techniques or the right equipment. It's also about those other intangible things, it sounds like.
Yeah. A lot of times it's not the equipment. I mean, and maybe they're making the mistake of thinking that's what's important. And that's, because to the client or the member, they don't care like how you're going to get me in shape. They don't care. I mean, honestly, they don't probably know what StrongFirst is, they may know, but the client may not know that, right? So they may come in and you have the skills because you're a StrongFirst certified trainer and you know what you're doing and you know how to get people in shape and you have, the best, knowledge behind you. But when that client walks in, yeah, they want to lose 10 pounds or they want to, right? So now how are you going to, show them the value that they want to make them become a member? And so I think, yeah, as trainers, we live in our trainer world where like, we're not normal. We always we get to wear sweats to work. We're not normal. So when you got to put yourself in your client's shoes and really figure out, okay, what is my client looking for? And how can I speak to my client of what's important to them, to get them to come work out with me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I think if to paraphrase, I mean, when the first time that your student or client comes in, it's about giving them hope and giving them a sense that they're welcome and not scaring them off. Getting them to come back the second time.
Honestly, it's trust. Like that word trust is number one. Like from when that client walks through that door, like you've got to build trust with them because once they trust you, then you're good. You can because initially they don't trust you. They're like, what are you trying to rip me off? Are you trying, do you understand me? Like you're just some gym rat, so they just, until you get across that boundary of trust and really connecting with the client. And the easiest way to build trust is to listen to them, to sit down and listen to them and just listen to where they're at and figure out, let me figure out where this person's at and how I can, help them to get to where they want to be. So definitely taking the time in that first month, when you're working with somebody to really make sure you're doing the right things to build that trust. Because then once they trust you, yeah, then, and we all know, like when we have clients that trust us, then they just like, what do you want me to eat? What do you want me to do? And they'll do, then you can help them do whatever they want to do.
That makes perfect sense. Probably one of the hardest things for trainers to do is to listen, because you've got all these great solutions. I can help you with this. I can help you with that. And to just sit back and listen is probably a tough skill.
It's not easy. Yeah. Especially, yeah. Cause you see, it's like, you want to put your agenda on them, right? Like, and I know I've been guilty of it because, people walk in and you're like, oh, you need to do this, this, and this, and it's going to be so great. And they're like, wait, I'm not ready for that. So definitely, yeah, just taking a deep breath and sitting back and listening. Like it was even with the nutrition stuff, like even just asking them an open-ended question and just saying, hey, what do you think you need to do this week? Rather than saying, I think you need to eat egg whites for breakfast and, this is what you need to do, right? It's like, let them decide, let them tell you what they're ready for, and then you can decide, is that, a good enough goal or not, or, do we need to tweak it a little bit? But, that way you're letting them be a part of the process.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah. And the research on, and that, like with people who are trying to change substance use or other things, it's, if they set the goal, they're more likely to keep it. And,
totally.
If we set goals for people that they don't keep it. So, yep. Yeah. I think that makes perfect sense. So,
yep, absolutely.
Well, excellent. I know that we've got a little limit on time here, so I appreciate all of the things that we've talked about. What should I have asked you that I didn't ask?
Ooh, good question.
Or closing thoughts, or
yeah, I mean, I think the big thing that our approach, I would say, or for a trainer that's out there that's trying to figure out what they want to do. The main place that I always go back to with our clients is figuring out, or with our our coaching members, is figuring out your lifestyle design. Like what do you what's the ideal day for you? What is your lifestyle design? What do you want to instead of, because a lot of people create a business and then their life has to support that business. Right. So then they have to start to, try to keep up with the business rather than deciding, let me figure out what life I want and then figure out the business to support that life. Does that make sense? So,
Yep.
how much
Perfect
is this
sense.
life
Yeah.
going to cost, or how many hours do I want to work, or, like, what does this look like? And maybe in the beginning, you're going to have to work more hours to get it to that point, but then at least you have an end point of where you're going. I think too many times trainers get caught up in, you're passionate, you're excited, and you just get your doors open and you get your list of equipment that you need to order, and you get your, like, you think like, okay, here we go. And you haven't like stopped for a second and just, picked your head up to look at, okay, where am I going? Like, what am I creating? What's, what is this getting me closer to? So I would just say that's like my biggest advice to everybody is, no matter where you're at in your business, no matter if you're just getting started or if maybe you already have your gym open, like just take a second and, like give yourself a little bit of time, half hour, quiet time, journal, and just think about like, where am I going? What do I want to create, for myself, for my family, and just making sure that you are building a business that's supporting your life, and that you're not building a business. Your life's not supporting your business. That makes sense. So really thinking that through.
I like that. That's perfect sense. Yeah, it's almost just like what you do with your students or your clients is you have them see that end goal, and then how do we get there from here? And
Right.
you're doing the same thing with gym owners. So I like it.
Yeah, because
That's
too many gym
awesome.
owners get caught in the hamster wheel, where they're just like
Mhm.
training client after client, like trying to keep up, trying to, and not stopping to figure out, wait, am I even getting any closer? No, maybe I need to
Yeah.
put some systems in place. Maybe I need to get a marketing plan going. Maybe I need to get, like, what do we need to do to actually give you forward progress to get closer to where you want to be?
Yep. Well, that's excellent. Excellent. I appreciate this. I think, we'll talk again in January, but I'd like to get you back on here at some point in time. You have so many good things to say, and I really want to pick your brain even more, but, I think many of our listeners would like you back on as well. So maybe we can set another time after we talk some more in January, but also I think it would be great for our accredited gyms to start working with you more and more as we get more
Yeah,
gyms
absolutely.
signed
I'd
up.
love to hear if people have questions, or if, there's, if anybody needs, you can definitely jump on any of my social media on Instagram or Facebook and, connect with me. Results.University.com is where all of our information is for that. Yeah. And, I'm excited to be in partnership with StrongFirst and to continue to help all of the trainers that are coming through the StrongFirst program. And we're excited to have you guys out in January. I know our team are super excited. So it should be a lot of fun. So looking forward to more calls, however we can help. Yeah, everybody that's in the
Excellent.
StrongFirst community. So thank you for
Excellent.
having
Yep.
me.
Thank you. We're super excited to have you part of that. And I'll put a lot of links in the show notes for this. And so thank you very much. And we'll greatly appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you.